So your heart is like an electro, and of these electrical magnetic devices in your body, your brain, your heart, your core, I'd say, but this one has been researched a fair bit, and it has the most electromagnetics in your body. So there's a field that it produces out of your body. It's an energy field, and some people can, start to feel it, get a strong felt sense of it. Now you can use this to embrace other. You can use it as a form of almost uplifting for other people, care, the open heart, or it can be used in not so healthy ways to direct your energy and or attack with your energy in and through that space. Now there is a lot of data that either we don't know and or is really beyond our scientific capacities at this time, or has not been expressed openly within the scientific community. And that would involve the potentialities, I would say, of these sorts of things. A lot of the wisdom traditions, especially in the West, the East, would consider this something like the subtle body. Some of which would maintain that if and when you die, that is the body that transmigrates, that is the body that's carried forwards, this subtle, energetic body. And you do not maintain, you do not keep all of your rational cognitive capacities. You keep, in essence, your wisdom and your compassion that comes from the subtle body. It's the matrix there of the subtle body. So if you're doing things that are highly negative with this body, i.e. attacking others vampirically, then you're creating yourself a labyrinth that will take immeasurable amounts of time to get out of. Your subtle body, that body which transmigrates, then is getting more and more confused. Maybe that's not quite the right word, but it's doing addition to what its matrix is intended for, and that is to embrace, to connect in greater and greater ways. So if you're using that body for something that's antithesis, that's exactly contrary to what it was sort of designed for, the structuring of it, then the clarity through this would take the labyrinth of time to extricate oneself from. In other words, you're making your life far harder. So this is to all those T-Rexes, those less healthy dinosaurs out there. We want to, and you would enjoy far more the opening of this body in such a way that embraces other. I mean, it makes you more vulnerable to attack, I would say, in the sense that there is a stillness. Those are grounded in the causal body to some degree, create a stillness that allows this to radiate out. It's very attractive in certain regards, energetically, because of that fact, I would say. Someone like myself tend to be very high, very, trying to progress things, and that makes the groundedness a little bit more difficult. The energetic groundedness. I would say grounded in the causal, not so difficult. The causal, from that which comes, that which is new comes. And this, gross more gross physiological body is also pretty, for most of us, pretty easy to manipulate and deal with and cope with. These other two bodies, particularly the subtle, because it brings up these emotions that are so foreign, that are so unpleasant at times, perhaps, that who wants to dig into that? But what seems to be the only way through it is to integrate that data, to integrate those foreign energies in such a way that even through attacks, even through energetic attacks, you find the gap, you find that space where the energy is not knowing of its own power, knowing where its power is coming from. If you can ascertain where that power is originating from, then that power, the power that they're trying to impose over you, has no power. But if you don't, then it will. In other words, this is strongly based, in fact, on your belief structures. And sometimes it is very hard to find your way through it. It is, in that sense, to some degree, still a labyrinth, even if your intentions are fairly good. Most of us are not perfect. Most of us are just doing our best. And so some of these energies, some of these impositions of unhealthy energetic constructs are not easy to be found through, to take apart, because of their intricacy and subtlety and command ability. So you have to use your greatest wisdom to ascertain as to exactly how one ought to push through it. But again, if you want to just feel that body, sense into your heart for a period of time, just feel into it, and feel as though, even though this is your willingfulness on it, that you are connected to all beings. And then slowly, 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 this center will open and open and open. And you can transmutate energies in that. There's an alchemical process of sorts that can take place there, that even in the most hostile of energies can be found into, dissolved, and then integrated. And then in and through that integration, one has a freeing experience, because now that energy does not have the capacity to bind you as it might have before, as it had before, because it was a foreign energy. And furthermore, you get greater insight through it. You understand new realities. And it's better, I would say, to do this in your own free will than to have it forced on you in times of, radical need. Although in some of those situations, transformation happens much quicker, although the danger level can be much higher, much higher.